What's up? What's good? Matt Clark here at the new Matt Clark. How are each and every one of you doing on this amazing Sunday? I'm doing great. My girl's doing great. My family's doing great. Hope each and every one of you are doing great. And I hope you're having a great weekend. If you could please hit that like button, subscribe button, and that bell notification button so you get all my videos when they're new. You could share with somebody on social media, help spread the message, help spread the word. That'd be amazing. And there's a PayPal option if you'd like to donate, help support the channel. Link is in the description of most of my videos. So what's up? What's up? What's up? How are you guys doing? It is the civic holiday. Today is actually beautiful outside. Surprised it's not raining. It seems to always be raining nowadays. But we're about to go out and enjoy the day, enjoy the weather. But I figured I'd come on here and I'd chop it up with you guys for a bit. It's been like about a week, and I'm interested in hearing what you guys have to say, man. So, the Fire Dragon, what's up? So for me, though, not a whole lot's been going on. Just work, work, work. You guys know how it is for me. My shop actually, where I work, actually did really well last month because we had to work for certain companies, and we just did really well, but we had to work a shit ton. So that's why you guys haven't heard a lot from me over the last month or so. Don't worry, 905, what's up? 20 or 2 Delton Custy. What up from Penn City? Shout out to Penn City. Was that Pittsburgh? Did you hear about the dude who got his charges dropped from in the home invasion? That's the guy who got the body, right? Who had originally been charged for a second. I told you he probably wasn't going to end up getting convicted. But if he got it dropped altogether, that's great. There's at no point as a human being, if you're attacked in your own home and you defend yourself and somebody loses their life because you're defending your home, should you ever go to jail? And being somebody who's broken into homes and would have hated being murdered by somebody in their home, I still definitely accepted the fact that that could have been a possibility, and that was something that I accepted. So if he wasn't a gun owner and he would have only got a firearm charge, exactly. I've told you about the story of the guy who he actually killed 2 people who had just killed his homie, and he didn't get convicted of either of the bodies, but he did a bunch of time for the gun, the illegal possession, the discharge, all that shit. I think he got 6 years. Maybe not the discharge, but everything else. The possession, ammunition, improper storage, all that kind of shit. I thought he was going to get manslaughter too, but it's great that he didn't. Most likely, though, the reason why he didn't is because they probably had guns. And they probably, maybe what we don't know is maybe these guys had done it in other places, and there was kind of like a paper trail of how they had behaved, and they were known to be violent in the process. You never know, right? You don't know what they know. So, but all I would suggest is that you never go into somebody's home, because even a civilian dude is going to kill you in his home. Somebody who would never consider it. And now he's in a position because you're in the place that he wants to protect his family. And now you're fucked, Do I think drug dealers should get harsher sentences? I think they get pretty harsh sentences. I think if somebody's playing with the Fetty and it's traceable to where he sold it to, then, he's got to take the consequences of a man or whatever happens if somebody loses their life because of his product. But at the end of the day, no, I don't think, I'm not somebody who believes in just putting people in jail, I believe that you should provide more opportunities so that people don't have to sell drugs in the first place, you know. But at the end of the day, as a dealer, they would know the consequences of their actions, right? Alan, what's up, buddy? It depends what you're selling. Exactly. Like I'm not the Fetty shit, you know, whatever comes with that comes with that. Hey Matt, glad you're on your grind. Can you discuss quitting weed? Why does it seem much harder than you'd think? I don't know. I've never really tried to quit recently. I think it's the same as anything else. It just depends on the person, you know, depends on their personal will with that certain substance. Because, like for me, for instance, I have a ton of will with certain things, but then zero will with others. So, yeah, I've heard Necro. Andrea, what's up? How are you? 13 people definitely could hit that like button. That'd be sweet. Sorry, I mean major importers. Yeah, major importers should just, they understand the consequences. So whatever the law is, then you know what I'm saying. But I don't think that like a drug dealer is any more exceptionally bad than any other criminal, because at the end of the day, those people that are using the drugs are going to use them whether that person sells them or not. And watch, before long, the government's going to be the one providing it. Watch. Fetty is, I knew a guy that got 3.5 years for like a Fetty patch and a half or something like that. I haven't had a cigarette. I'm smoking the vape a little bit, but I haven't had a cigarette in 12 days. There is no rehabbing mafia Hells Angels types. I disagree. And to be honest, I know a lot of Hells Angels guys, or have met, that are better people than the civilians out there. So don't always just assume because somebody's in a gang or in a criminal organization that they're a terrible human. There's a reason why they got there, you know. They probably haven't had the best opportunities in their life or the best upbringing in their life. They've probably experienced trauma and mental health and abuse at some point in their life. If you look at the criminal population, it is the most traumatized group in our population. This is a fact. The most abuse, the most coming up with drug dealer parents and drug addict parents, you know, just really having no chance in hell. Growing up in a low income neighborhood where you're surrounded by gangs, because you don't have a father figure or whatever, you run to the gang for support because you need that. People need that. And believe me, in those poorer communities, nobody from not poorer communities is reaching out to help. So the people that are reaching out are people from their own community who may not be doing the best things. Bing, bang, boom, before long, you're hanging out with killers. And believe me, take it from somebody who hung out with killers who's not a killer. And when I started out, I was just breaking into cars with people. And before long, the guys I was surrounded with, not intentionally, were killers. So, you know, people are a product of their environment. Not every single person who breaks the law is a bad person. I know Charlie Manson. He's hilarious. I'm sure he is. But he's a crazy bastard. Big yourself up, please. You already know. James, what's up, brother? Long time no see, for sure. Things are going good, man. Haven't had a smoke in 12 days, although I am smoking the vape a little bit. Been back in the gym, feeling good about myself. You know, job's going good. Hey, Matt, finally caught. Jesus Christ. One of your lives. I love the channel, man. It's great to hear your experience and your personal growth. Well, I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. I wouldn't say that I necessarily quit yet, Prison Audio, because I am still smoking this, but I'm on my way. And I'm definitely not smoking cigarettes. And even just switching from cigarettes to this, to me, this isn't cigarettes. Doesn't taste the same. Doesn't give me the same satisfaction. So I'm not like constantly smoking it. Usually by dinner time, I'm done with it. It's just because I drive, right? So I'm a lot of the time I'm alone with my thoughts. Somebody told me to do the sunflower seeds because it's the motion, the using your hands, the habitual part of it. And I'm just not that big of a fan of sunflower seeds where I want to eat them all goddamn day. Yeah, like honestly, I do have like moments during the day where I feel like I want to have a cigarette, but I just keep it moving. We'll see what happens. Yeah, this flavor, this is actually pure tobacco. That's the flavor. I quit cigs and using a vape. I got sick of the flavor, so now I use this just with the flavorless pods. I find that's the best flavor. There is none. Cigarettes are definitely super difficult to quit. And I have a super addictive personality. I do everything major. So when I was smoking cigarettes, I was smoking like 30, 35 cigarettes a day. And I found also, since I've been smoking less, I've actually been drinking less, coffee, spending more of my time doing healthy things. I already am coughing up phlegm. You can hear even just as I'm talking. And, like if I buy a 2,500 puff vape, that shit lasts me like over a week. So it's not like I'm smoking it constant, like all day long. I had a friend just got out of Calgary remand after 20 days. Apparently, it's like the worst remand in the country for guards' treatment of prisoners. Nah, I'd take a look at EMDC. I have a video about it. Many people have lost their lives there. And it's sad to say it's also a heavy native population. It's just a fact. McLegend, yo, what's up, brother? So there's definitely racism involved, but EMDC is definitely also just bad people running the joint. And it's like the old West Detention Center back in the day where the guards felt like it was their job to extra punish guys and literally like would abuse guys that would take it. Like I've seen in the West, I've seen guys literally get backhanded by guards and open-handed like defas by guards. No man, EDMC is both. It's both. It's lots of guard violence there too, for sure. I did a video about it. Yeah, there was Bam Bam, RoboCop, Mr. Singh, little Mr. Singh. But that's jail, man. So it is what it is. Shout out to Niagara Falls. I love the falls. It's very quirky. I love it. Call the boy. What's that? They do guided tours of the old Don jail. They probably leave those stories out. Oh, for sure. The old Don jail. That's the last place in Canada somebody was hung. Now, did they do it in the whole joint now, even the new part that was closed down, or is it just the old part? Why are so many natives in jail if the system claims to be more lenient on them? I think the system is more lenient on them, but I think you got to also understand the circumstances. A lot of these poor guys and gals, man, there's not a ton of opportunity for them. A lot of them are from rural areas. Super rural. So I don't know what to say. I'm not gonna blame somebody when they've clearly been through some shit for their actions. When I've been there myself, and I probably haven't been through half, even though I've been through a lot. A lot of communities, um, are overrun by drugs and alcohol and abuse. I know when I was in Fembrook, just a lot of those Inuit guys that were there were sex charges. And apparently it's normal. Like, it's crazy how many of these dudes have these charges. So I just think that until there's better opportunities, there's a better circumstance for everybody. You're gonna keep having these circumstances. It's exactly the same as it doesn't matter if the community is poor. That community is going to have a higher representation in jail, and that's just a fact. Doesn't matter the race. Have you ever run into, for COs while out? A buddy is a CO at Ottawa Detention Center and had a few encounters. Generally, what happens in jail stays in there. I think it would depend on the Fed, man. I think there definitely could be animus. If that Fed has mistreated people, there's a guard in the East that was shot by a dude who literally waited outside for him to finish his shift and shot him. Didn't try and kill him, just maimed him. No, I never said that. I said Inuits are cool with other Inuits that have sex charges, not natives. And not all of them are cool with it. But there is definitely a high representation of them in that population. That is a fact. There's a reason why there's names. There's a reason why they're brutally picked on in Fembrook. I just think I think life is difficult, and I think if there's not any avenue for you to change it, if it's down, then what are you going to do? You're going to act out, right? If it seems hopeless, you're going to act out, right? That's why, look at this. Look, here's an analogy. If you take a joint, like a prison, and all of the guys in that prison are life with no parole, right? That is going to be insane compared to a prison where they're all lifers with the possibility of parole. You take hope away from people and they become primal to survive. That's just a fact. I wasn't at Millhaven long enough, Alan, to know Mr. Cross by name, but I believe you. Shout out to Surrey, BC, Calvin. Donnie does dishes. What's up? How are you? In Fembrook, they definitely get picked on because of the sex charges. It just is what it is when you have those charges. The thing is, they really group together, right? And they stick to themselves, and it's kind of just different culturally. Ask anybody who's in Fembrook who's been there. 100% was just talking to my buddy in Virginia about that. He has 1,214 years. Hard to keep hope with that. That to see that, like I'm a pretty hopeful and optimistic dude, and I was able to do my time like fairly positively because I always saw a date. I always saw an ending, right? But they get smacked, they get smashed all the time. All the time. They get cracked out of the jail all the time. It's just two populations living in one joint, and they rarely intermingle. The only time they ever intermingle is for the sale of cigarettes or drugs. Would you say 2 Delta in the custody? Guards raped you? Yeah, so that's why if you go to a place like Pelican's Bay, where a lot of those guys are gang members with life with no parole, with SEG for life. So anytime the cell cracks, it's war, right? And the only way that they can get out of it is to check in and rat on their gang. No hope, right? So guys, kill. It's the way it is. I think I ran into one Fed one time, but he was a nice Fed. So I never bothered him. He was in the hospital too. I ran into a female guard from the Don in Yorkdale. I spoke to her. She was always cool. She actually told my buddy in the Don she was open to dating an inmate. That's hilarious. But a lot of them are. Got a question if it's not too out of line. For your previous visits, it sounds like you came from a good, loving home. So what was the cause to go down the route? No disrespect, just curious. Well, I was abused sexually when I was young. And my brother was killed some people close to my family and was charged with 2 counts of first-degree homicide, which literally ripped my whole family apart. So that's what happened. Naked in a closet, damn. So being Muskoka, I know lots of COs. Do you like them all or just some? Nah, Fembrook, actually, no. Fembrook's got a lot of bad guards. Like, I wouldn't say they're like abusive guards. They're just like straight and narrow. You know what I'm saying? But Penetang, if they work in Penetang, that's a different circumstance. They're probably more chill because Penetang's not like at all the super jails. It's the easiest one to do your time. This is a fact, right? There might be 1-2 Berry ranges where like, the guys are fucked up, but yeah, my brother's on parole. Yeah. And that's okay, Sean. I've told my story on the channel before, so it's a fair question to ask because I do come from a good home, right? So a lot of people would say, like, what the fuck are you doing? But shit happens, Larry Benson, what's up, buddy? Gone on a globe trot. That must be nice. I don't have money for that. To Salem's Lot. It's an Eminem fan, eh? Ugh. So what's the plan for today? For me, I don't know yet. I think I'm just going to go out and cruise. Maybe look for a beach somewhere. I don't know. I haven't been in since 2009. I was talking to an Irish guy the other day who is in for immigration. He said the system is all gangs. Yeah, it is. Young guys, too. Like little dudes. A lot of little dudes. Just numbers. But it doesn't matter. You can still do your time, man. You just can't be a bitch. That's just all it is. Yeah. My bro is definitely able to work for sure. He's got a good life, you know. On a more lighthearted note, you growing plants? Nah, I'm not a grower. I'm a smoker. I don't like to. I'm not really into it. I know it takes time to learn too how to do it really well, so it can be uh, disheartening in the beginning. Yeah. Any fun this summer or all work no play? No, I'm definitely gonna have some fun. And I went to Thunder Bay and I had fun. I went to a wedding. I had fun. Uh, we're gonna do some stuff before the end of the summer. That's for sure. It has been a lot of work for me and my old lady. So we'll see what happens. You ever hit up Sabo? No, I've never hit up Sabo. Just Wasaga back in the day. If you're a bug, you're a goof. Sometimes. Yeah, I know some park dudes, and I definitely know some dudes from the Rex. I've done time with all of them. You know, there's not really a block that I haven't done time with somebody from, to keep it real with you. I just did that much time in Toronto, you know. Pretty easy to plant and harvest. That's a fact. Not the sobble wobble. No, she was coming off meth, but yeah, methadone. But yeah, she's good. She's totally off and doing great. What's up, brother? Wasaga's like Jersey Shore, a bunch of stupid teenagers. Yeah, now I'm sure it is. And it probably was when we were there. I was just one of those stupid teenagers, so it was fun. Still smells like cat piss. I believe it. It's human piss, though. That's the funny thing. It can be fun there, though. Like, you can't lie. Like, when you're young, you're just like coming through, 18, 17, and you haven't really experienced a huge party like that. It'd be mad fun for you. You're 1 year older than me, brother. I'm 82. Cassandra Arch. Got a lot of insight from your videos. Very informative. So thank you for that. Was wondering if you had a partner or no. Oh, you mean like what it would be like being? Yeah, she's not into the videos. We tried that and she's not into it. I have a video though of somebody who was dating somebody. If you go back to the old interviews, um, she was dating a lifer. Turned 42 yesterday. We're getting old. This is a fact, and I feel it. My shoulder hurts after I work out. Like, I feel it. Would I be considered old? No. I'd be considered like a pen timer, you know, not young, but not like super old. But you kind of get the respect of like an old guy almost, you know. If people know that you've been down there, a lot of the time people just chill. It doesn't matter either. Like, I've been in the most gangster ranges and I'm pen timer, and guys give you a more respect than you would have if you weren't a pen timer. No supplements, no. I'd like to check out Crystal Beach. I hear they check bans for alcohol though. What do you mean they check bans? Like, if you're caught drinking there, they'll see if you have like it on your parole or your probation or whatever. Try ashwagandha. bags. Did you ever do time at Kingston Penn? If so or not, if not, ever thought about doing the tour? My sister did the tour. I've been there. I lived there. I was in the TD unit there for months. So, yeah, I've been there. I've experienced it firsthand. Who? Pat? Who is that? Crystal Beach checks your bags. Okay. I get it. Really? You just gotta grab a Mickey. If you're in the building, go up, hit that like button. It helps the channel. It helps me. I appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the goddamn channel already. We speak on prison addiction and we speak on life. And who's Pat? To Delton the Custy. Mr. Muffin Man, you already know there, playa. What does that mean? You have like a giant muffin top? Oh, yeah, I don't talk to any of those guys anymore. The only guy that I would talk to is Throw, but I don't know where the fuck he is. I don't want to just show up for a VI and like I don't know what his circumstance is, you know. So I'll just wait till he comes home. But someone told me that in my Young and Eglinton Facebook group. Not sure though, I don't know. Huh. Likes the muffins. I'd rather not, bro, to be honest, Cleasy. You know, I don't really, I've spent too much time in my life in jails to want to go there and visit willingly. You know what I'm saying? If it was family, I would for sure. But what are the thoughts on mushroom stores popping up these days? I have no problem with mushrooms. They're like kind of anti-addictive, if you ask me. Have a bad trip. You know, you want to stop, eat 10 grams. Lock yourself in a dark room. You'll stop. You find out where they are, you get the address, and you write them. It's simple. But you got to find out where they are. You know. So the thing about provincials is provincials will tell you, I'm pretty sure, if somebody's there. Federals won't. Definitely. None of that. But I don't to Delta. Honestly, I don't know what you're saying half the time. Like respect to the view and stuff, but the comments are kind of all over the place, my brother. The microdoses are key. My 79-year-old dad has been microdosing for 2 years now, as they're popular in shops. Well, why? Why is he microdosing? How do you find out? You call. That's the only way you can really find out, you know. And in provincial, I'm pretty sure they'll tell you. If it's federal, the trick is if you know they're in federal, then you write to Joyceville. And even if they've moved from Joyceville to somewhere else, it'll be redirected to their mother. That's it. Matt, I'd rather be on the criminal charges than be in family court. It's hell, I'm telling you. Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. Fuck it, eh? You already know, to Delton. Takes the edge up, limits anxiety, kind of like a warm hug. Listen, I took 2 squares of a shroom bar and I thought it was gonna microdose, and I was fucking blasted. It wasn't a microdose to me. And that was only 2 little squares. I'm on here like 2 more minutes, guys. I just I don't have a super like urge to do drugs anymore. I just don't. Yeah, I think those pieces were 0.2. Each square was a 0.2. So I probably did like a 0.4. But you know, I like to have a beer and smoke a joint, but that's about as far as I want to go right now. You know, aside from heroin, but I know that I can't do it, you know. So I don't. But I don't have any interest in doing anything that's going to make me feel sketchy. I hate that feeling. Do any of them look good? Of course, but not a ton of them. Sometimes they'll start looking out good, and then within a few years, they have that like guard fatness that just comes with their job. Elton, like John, Ghost Rider, John phenomenon. Anyways, man, I'm off like a prom dress. You guys already know. That's good. I've had people in my family hooked on drugs, never myself, though. Yeah. You know, it happens. I know if you gave me a fucking smash of heroin, I'd be re-hooked again. I know that. That's why I don't do it. But there's a bunch of shit that, yeah, definitely they are rats. But the nurses. And most of them don't look good anyways. You know, you get the occasional one that looks good. It's just guys are desperate, so they look good to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have a ton of like young haughty guards running around. They end up being Sam Squanches by the end of it. You know what I'm saying? But I love you guys. You guys already know. We're going to do another live soon. I'll have a video up soon as well. It is nice talking to you guys, man. Make sure you have a good, safe rest of this long weekend if you're in Ontario or Canada. And the cookies ting. Yeah, there's always going to be like a 1, 2 out of the, 70 that work there. But you guys already know I love y'all. Subscribe, motherfuckers. Yeah, the cookies ting. Yeah, shit's hilarious.